Jules, I wanted to come at you. So I'm in the hospital, and let's just talk a little bit about hospital visits. Okay, so how did I end up here? That's the first question. I'm gonna bring in my little fluffy guy so you guys can have something to look at. But so, how did I end up here? So I, about 3 weeks ago, stopped tolerating my J-tube feeds and was in the hospital, the ER, for pain management, as you kind of saw in my other video talking about what it's like really living with a chronic illness and having ER visits and all that sort of stuff. So I stopped tolerating my tube feeds around then, and I haven't been running them. I tried starting up and running them, and I got really a bad panic attack, started to get some chills, my temperature started to raise a little bit, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna risk anything. I'm just gonna go into the ER and try to figure out what's wrong. I originally thought it was an infection with my J-tube because that would make sense why if I started my feeds, got chills, all that stuff. But they found that it was actually bacteria from my skin that made its way through my PICC line, and I was diagnosed with MRSA. So they admitted me to the hospital, and they put me on antibiotics twice daily. So kind of same routine for when I was in the hospital for sepsis. And I thought it was gonna be the same routine. I thought it was gonna be a few days worth of antibiotics. They'd send me home, maybe schedule infusions at home for the antibiotics, and then put a new PICC line in and send me on my way so I could get TPN at home. Well, that is not what ended up happening. So they looked further. Luckily, they did an echocardiogram of my heart. They usually do that when you have any sort of sepsis or anything like that, just to make sure bacteria didn't make its way to your heart, because if it's in your blood, that means your heart's pumping your blood around, so there's a likelihood that it could get, bacteria could get to your heart. So they did the routine, ultrasound on my heart, and they found massive bacteria in my heart, which is called vegetation. So they found some vegetation in my heart. And the cardiologist at the small hospital that I was at did not feel comfortable doing the procedure to remove it. So they sent me down to a big hospital in Indy so that they could look more closely and do a little bit more like a procedure that they've been doing quite often. So if you're kind of interested in the procedure, I'll talk a little bit about that. I just had it done yesterday. Still a little bit sore, so it's a little bit hard to stand and walk because they did go through a vein near my groin area on my leg, and they took a small catheter, basically stuck it up that vein all the way, following it all the way up to my heart, and then using suction just kind of sucked out the vegetation. They did stick a probe down my throat to kind of look at my heart while they were doing the procedure so they could get a really good view of my heart. I was also under x-ray and I was also knocked out, so I didn't remember or feel any of it. So that was the procedure. It went really well. They said they got all the vegetation out and there was no problems, and they could see my heart really clearly, and I was like, good, great, great. Another thing of being 24 and completely healthy other than my stomach, which doesn't work. But so that went smoothly, and I'm really happy about that. So now they're trying to figure out why I'm not tolerating my J-tube feeds is the next step on the list of things to figure out. So right now they have me on lipids and TPN, which they're going to keep me on, and then they're going to schedule me for an infusion daily for antibiotics at my infusion place up where I live. So that'll be good. And then they're also going to schedule me outpatient for more motility studies to kind of look at my intestines and kind of try to figure out why I'm not tolerating my J-tube feeds and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. I'm supposed to hear from a GI today, so we'll see. I'm excited to be moving forward and kind of trying to figure out why my body's not always tolerating its J-tube feeds, because it's been touch and go since the beginning with my J-tube feeds. So I'm kind of excited for this motility study, a little bit frustrated that it hasn't been talked about sooner, but that's just dealing with medical diagnosis and procedures and stuff. It can take years and years and years for people to get diagnosed with stuff. So it is a very hard process to get diagnosed and to get these tests done. So I'm just thankful that I'm getting it done now. A little bit frustrated that it wasn't done sooner, but I'm glad it's being talked about now. So now it's just kind of moving forward and trying to figure out what's going on with my J-tube feeds. Hopefully I'll be out of the hospital here soon and back in my comfy bed with my kitties. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about, the hospital visits and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more fun content and squishy animals. All right, I love you guys. Stay strong.